Oh, you know what?
Uh-oh.
Whoops. Oh.
We're live, everybody.
Sorry about that. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday stream. We are excited to be here with you. We have, what, 8 days left in our Kickstarter?
Yeah,
it's getting there.
8 days left in the Kickstarter. We're over 2.3 million people, or 2.3 million people.
That'd be real nice.
$2.3 million raised with just about 13,000. Or did we pass
We're
the 13?
creeping up on it. I don't
We may
think
have
we
passed
yet.
13. I don't
We're
know.
real close.
I'm not sure
What do
the
you think?
exact number.
We're confirming.
All right. No, but things are going amazing. We're having a great time. A blast here. This month has been like, gosh, it feels to me like we started the Kickstarter
Like a year ago?
Right.
already. I was going to say a year ago.
Yeah.
But we're really enjoying being here with you guys on these streams 3 times a week. I'm going to miss it just a little bit.
It's been fun, man.
It has been fun.
I've been really enjoying myself.
Yeah, but don't forget, we are going to be doing these streams twice per month for every month following the Kickstarter. Yeah,
Just to keep you guys informed, talk about what's going on, give you some inside scoops.
absolutely.
I love
Show you
that.
the Baconator.
The Baconator will be there. What kind of gun is that?
Terminator, man.
So, we don't have a guest with us today. Actually, we do have a guest with us today. Our guest is you. What?
No, it was brilliant. It was
our
brilliant.
guest.
I was laughing at you.
That's our guest. We're going to be taking
man.
questions from the Twitch chat and from our Discord. If you're not on our Discord, I highly recommend you go onto our Discord. It's pretty easy to get there. You just go to discord.gg/ashes of creation. Put that in your URL, and I think you'll end up in a safe space of our Discord.
Yeah.
Right? But we have a dedicated channel that we're going to open up now. I don't know, did we live, excuse me, did we live announce, Jennifer, that we're good? We're live on now? On Discord? Cool. Okay. Oh, channel's not open. Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. We're going to open that in just a second. So we're pretty much going to field a bunch of questions and just kind of,
Chat and talk and have a good time.
Yeah, that's a
like we're
good
sitting by the
idea.
fireplace.
Oh,
Right.
fireplace. Do we have a fireplace?
Yeah, it's right behind the camera.
Yeah.
That's a fire hazard. We also have some footage that we're going to be showing that's actually getting recorded literally right now.
Right now, at this very moment.
I don't even have a chance to watch it first,
It was so much fun.
but that's okay. Of the Predator class going out and hunting and getting some meat for his brethren, his citizens of the node that may want to eat.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody wants to eat.
Everybody. I
Everybody.
love venison, personally.
Actually, I've only had it once. Didn't
Yeah,
like too
not a
much.
fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys like venison?
Not
That's
much.
interesting. Okay.
I feel
Well,
judged now. So
well, let's go ahead and open up the chat channels. We can
Open up the floodgates.
now. It's gonna. Hopefully, it's not too spammy. But I recognize it might get a little spammy, and it might be difficult to read the questions for us. But we're going to unlock. Oh, look at that! I can see that actually a little bit better. Maybe we can increase the resolution on that. Can you see it okay, Peter?
Me? Yeah.
Can you read them? Okay.
Like the Twitch part or the Discord
Okay, so
part?
if you're on Twitch, you're going to go ahead and put question in front of your question, and then put the question. So do question and then your question. And if you're in Discord, just tag Intrepid Studios, do @Intrepid Studios, and include your question. Let's see, Baconator, can you right-click on that channel? The live stream Q&A, or not right-click on it, but click that little cog next to it in Discord. Live stream Q&A channel.
Where
Yeah, there you go. The cog next to it. Perfect. Yep. Yeah, no, just regular click it. And then go to permissions. Perfect. And that send messages right there. You see that send messages where it has a big X in the middle of it?
down at the
It's
bottom.
red, yeah.
Yeah.
Below the
Up a little bit
Click
more.
that check mark next to the X
Yeah.
instead. Check mark, and then save changes. Boom. Discord's now open. By the way, congratulations, Discord. We have
Then-
over 13,000 members on Discord. Yeah, you can exit out. That's perfect. Oh my
Oh,
God.
there we go.
And
Oh, there we go.
Okay, and I
it's
can
happening.
read nothing. All
It's
right.
happening. Okay, all right. Let's start with Twitch, and we'll let that slow down a
Hang on,
little
I
bit.
saw one question. Can you build a shrine on your freehold?
Oh, okay, cool.
I saw that.
That's a good question. Right. So I guess that's an interesting question. It's definitely a possibility. It's something we've examined a little bit. Like that shrine would be tied to an unlock that is granted through your progression in the religion system, maybe, and that shrine could grant access to certain types of givings that you could make.
Tithes and stuff that you can make to your gods.
Exactly.
Or gods singular.
And that could help further progress you within the religion system. It could be actually like a stepping stone to get deeper into the religion system
Not
itself.
quite like going to a full-on temple, but the next best thing.
Yeah, and then perhaps the way that players can kind of visit your freehold and eat at a tavern or sleep at an inn, they could also visit your shrine if they're a fellow worshiper, and maybe they could have some interaction there.
Maybe you could charge them for something.
Oh, I like it. That's not a bad idea. Let's see. Now that we have seen, this is from Adrian Stark. Now that we have seen, and it's gone. Okay, next one.
This is a good idea, guys.
So I saw one to the left that said.
let's go with Discord for now.
Oh, okay, because I saw one on Twitch.
Oh, do you see it on Twitch? Go ahead.
It said, "What type of tavern games will there be?" So what type of the parlor games?
I like that. That's a good question.
I don't know who it's by because
I
it
think
went way too fast.
that when we've been discussing a little bit about the parlor games, something that would be cool would be having the parlor games reflect the race, that is predominant race in a node.
Yeah.
And each race would have some type of parlor game to offer.
Kind of style of
Exactly.
game, right? Because the civilizations of our world, right? We all have different games. We all share that in common, and we think that's a cool way to tell a story without getting in your face about it.
Absolutely, I like it. Throw some dice, play some cards.
Absolutely.
Maybe some bones.
Maybe some bones.
Yeah, the orc style game. Okay, Hawk says, question, will we get to choose the color of our puppy or kitten for the Kickstarter, or choose the breed at all?
That's a good question. I mean,
I don't
Those
necessarily.
are all going to be exclusive for the Kickstarter.
It is,
right?
yes,
So
those are
it's
exclusive.
not going to be
Customizable.
Yeah.
Because we want them to stand out as the exclusive Kickstarter pet.
Yeah.
Right? And if yours is a pink pug and the other one is a black pug, you know what I mean? Which
Right.
one's a Kickstarter pet? You know what I mean? Or are pugs just, No, I think that's going to be a unique, specific pet. That's inherent.
with a fixed color and,
Right.
and fixed texture.
Yeah. What type
fixed
of
breed.
dog, though? That's the question. What type of puppy?
We haven't decided on that yet.
Ooh. Maybe we should do a Kickstarter community-only vote.
Oh, we can do that.
That would be
pretty
awesome.
fantastic.
We could totally do that. So for the puppies and kittens, we should do a vote for only Kickstarter members to vote for the breed.
That would be fantastic.
I like
I'm
that.
down with that.
Okay, my
We're
personal
making decisions online right now.
on the fly. What's your favorite cat?
My favorite cat, Maine Coon.
Maine Coon?
Giant, fluffy thing.
I think I'm a British short hair.
I have no clue on cat breeds, so
Oh, really?
just
Wow.
cat is enough for me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's pause the Discord chat and we'll grab another one from there. You can just kind of grab it, Baconator. There we go. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Haste. Can we drop items on the ground that can be seen in-game and picked up? That's a very good question.
Probably not. Unless, probably not. Because
I
that
would say
requires a lot of work on our art team to make all of those meshes.
Not only that, but actually there's a little bit of an issue that I've experienced in a previous MMO where that was the case.
I've seen that too. Yeah.
And we would have like a castle siege, right?
Yeah.
And we would go to the castle, and all of the players of the opposing team laid down gold everywhere on the ground, like 1 gold everywhere. And as soon as I would try to like run into that area, it was just like stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to render every single asset on the ground.
Yeah, it's pretty abusable.
It was, yeah.
Because it took the players like 30 to 60 minutes to actually set up that labyrinth.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Wolf, can you speak to the variety of weapons that you plan to implement?
Yeah, we can actually.
absolutely.
Let's see if I can remember them off the top of my head.
Oh, that's good. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
I mean, we've got spellbooks, we've got orbs, we've got staves, we've got
Remember
swords,
the
we've
grid.
got daggers, we've
That's what I'm trying to picture in my head. It was the
that whole grid.
Yeah.
There's a lot
So
of
that's
weapons.
the magic stuff. We're gonna have one-handed, two-handed swords, one-handed, two-handed maces,
Pole
Axes.
pole arms,
Axes.
one-handed, two-handed axes, stuff, things.
Do you see my phone right now? It looks
I
like
do,
a
it's amazing.
carousel. It's just like going through crazy.
Can't wait to see your battery just
Maybe, yeah. It's like 80% now. We'll see when it goes.
But yeah, there's going to be a pretty even split between
Put airplane mode on.
sort of magey type of weapons and kind of melee, rangy kind of weapons.
Right.
So there's going to be a pretty broad stroke. We want to have a role for each of those weapons in the game, and then they all kind of have their own way of being used.
Okay, let's see here. We've got from Rico. You mentioned the predator hunting to supply their node with meat. Will there be a need to consume food? Will it provide buffs?
Yes.
Yes, it will provide some type of benefit to your character, obviously.
We're not going to go down the survival route. We're not going to have, you have to eat to survive, or your
Right,
HP bar
you
starts going down.
can't do anything.
It would be really cool, but
That would
that's
be
not our
awesome.
game.
What if you turned into a zombie if you didn't eat?
Does that happen? I've not eaten for
real
a
life?
while before, and I've never turned into a zombie.
That's true. That's a good point. No, but I think another cool thing about food in the game is going to be the fact that not all recipes are going to just be known by the players.
Yep.
There's going to be some combination and experimentation.
And, yeah.
Like, what dish can you make? And what does that do for me?
Right.
Right?
And then as far as the nodes go, nodes will all require resources, right? And
yeah.
those resources can be anything.
Yes.
And that includes food. So it can include food, it can include wood, it can include ore, all those things
Those
help to maintain the
NPCs
node.
need to eat.
They do.
Right? And they can't fend for themselves.
Right.
They can't. Well, I mean,
well,
yeah, they can.
Right. And really, to make cooking
joking.
relevant, like to make cooking relevant at all, the food needs to do something.
Right,
So,
right.
that's a major part of it as well.
Okay, let's switch over to Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Question from Senpai Zenpai. Nice, I like that name. Will there be, wait, no.
And he's gone.
Sorry, Senpai Zenpai. No, wait, are we back?
I don't think there's any way we're finding
No,
that again.
and that was a good question, though. I felt it. I felt it was going to be something.
The answer is maybe.
Maybe. Okay, Twitch. How about, Jennifer, why don't you watch Twitch chat and maybe grab a couple questions, and we'll watch Discord because it's easier to stop.
You can
Okay.
slow it as well, but that's, yeah.
Let's go back to Discord then while Jennifer grabs a couple questions. Intrepid Studios, will there be player shipbuilding?
Where's that?
I don't know. It went
sorry.
away. Oh, wait. Okay. Will there be
That's okay.
player shipbuilding? That's the question.
Yeah.
Yes, there's player shipbuilding.
Yes. Basically, anything that you want to bring into existence in the world is going to be built by players. Whether that's ships, whether that's siege engines, whether that's weapons, armor, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Very good. Okay. All right, let's see here.
Can you expand on tanking mechanics?
Can we expand on tanking mechanics? Okay. Who's that from? Do we know?
Battle Wrath?
Battle Wrath. Like it. Expanding on tanking mechanics. So, I mean, tanking as a role in MMORPGs typically is in regards to controlling the battlefield and mitigating damage for the party, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, we've really tried to break down the archetypes and kind of enhance them. Like, tanks can feel a little bit one note when it comes to what they do in the game. They deal some damage, and they mostly worry about their threat. But really what they're doing is they're controlling the battle, and so we kind of wanted to kind of amplify that feeling of like, hey, I'm not just this brick wall, right? I can make brick walls, and I can kind of control who's going where, and it's not just going to be about managing threat, it's going to be about managing the battlefield itself.
Right. Apex Divinity on Discord. Will there be player-owned taverns? Yes, there will be player-owned taverns. Jesmo, will there be a spear and shield combo?
Spear and shield, we actually talked about this.
One-handed spear.
We talked about one-handed spears.
300.
We talked about 300.
Nice.
Right.
But I think we came to the conclusion that we had too many weapons, and that wasn't going to be a thing.
Did we
were going to do.
really?
We did.
Well, hey,
did.
we always
the-
have testing phases.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's one of those
This is
things
true.
we had to cut just because of how many weapons
How many
we had.
weapons?
Right. We had a good amount.
Let's not give a firm no on that yet, because I like
I
one-handed
love it. I
spears.
mean, I think that's such a great silhouette.
Did I say no to
it
one-handed
looks-
spears?
You did.
Oh no!
You did.
I'm sorry,
But it's okay.
wait, I like one-handed spears. I think I've changed my opinion on
All
that.
right.
So let's consider that. Let's see. Are you gonna wait? No, okay. Modley, what is your anticipated level time to get to max level? It's a good question.
That's a difficult one to say because it really depends on what's going on with your server. It depends on what's going on with you. It depends on what's going on with everything. What your average play session is.
Your leveling style.
Yeah,
there's a lot of different ways to level.
But it's not going to be I get to max level in a day.
Right.
It's not going to be I get to max level in a week.
Right. You know.
Probably not a month.
Probably not a month.
And probably,
I would say somewhere between that like 45 to like, 45-day range, feel-y. I don't know. I don't even want to give a number yet. The aspect of our leveling is going to be more towards that meaning side of things as well.
towards the experience, right? It's
Yeah.
not experience as in numbers, but experience as in I am participating in the world.
But it absolutely will not be a grind fest.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
one thing. 100% it won't be. Okay. How about any Twitch questions?
Can you use a mount from level 1?
I guess technically you could use a mount from level 1. The question would be is when you're going to get your mount, like when's the normal range of level you'll get your mount. And I don't think that'll be at level 1.
It's really going to depend on what's out there on the market, how much money you have,
Right.
What the animal husbandry people are doing. There's not going to be a fixed level that
Right.
you get a mount at.
Exactly.
It's going to be more
But
of...
there may be a quest line that grants access to like a starting mount.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that may be startable around like level 5-ish, maybe
Right.
somewhere early on.
And that might be the first mounts that you see in the game before people
Exactly.
actually start experimenting
Right.
with some of these mechanics.
But you
so-
could technically come out level 1 doing that,
Yeah.
if you had access to
especially
it.
later in the game.
Yes,
The feel
for
is
sure.
definitely earlier because animal husbandry is so important.
Yeah.
That it's like we kind of want mounts to be ubiquitous for people.
Right, and you're not coming out of the portal, or excuse me, out of the gateway. You're not coming out of the gateway as a baby.
Right.
You're coming, you're coming out of the gateway as a young adult.
Back to this, yeah.
Well, no,
right.
no, I'm just saying.
Right.
The gateway.
Yeah.
Kickstarter mounts.
Kickstarter mounts. So Kickstarter mounts are mounts that replace the appearance of mounts you would have in game. Is that what we're asking? That was the question.
They want to know if they could use those on day 1.
Right. So what happens is with the runic steed, with the obsidian, and the spectral steeds, you're going to be replacing your horses you would gain in the game normally with that appearance. Obviously, because again, we're not going down the pay-to-win route. So, okay, let's see. How about some more Discord
Yeah,
ones,
can we
Michael?
Scroll on Discord a little
Want
bit.
to scroll a little bit down? Okay, good. Oh no, a little bit further down. Yes. Oh, okay, good. Here we go. So, Edmund Lemon. Question: will there be a boss able to destroy a high-level metropolis full of high-level guards and other things? Will a boss be able to destroy a metropolis? No. Is he talking about like monsters?
Yes, I
Yeah,
believe
I'd
so.
assume
Monsters
so.
cannot destroy or delevel nodes. They can disable, our Monster Coin event specifically, can disable services and buildings of a node, but the chief mechanic to deleveling or destroying a node is reserved for the siege mechanic system. And there's going to be ramifications if players don't react to events that occur, but it won't be in regards to destroying a node. What else is there? Click that gray bar. Jump to present, bacon. There we go. All right, there we go. Now pull us up a little bit
Right,
to pause
yeah,
it. There we
there
go.
you
Good. Okay, let's see. Serb. Will there be any way to upgrade gear and weapons if it is already the best grade by adding one extra stat with the RNG, like +1, 2, 3? So kind of over enchanting?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
We've decided there is over enchanting in the game. Obviously, everything is a risk versus reward in that regard. So tread lightly in that over enchantment of the gear you're trying to make better, because there's going to be risks involved. Are there plans for native Linux support?
Not out of the box, not right now. Right now, we're really focused on Windows environments. It's going to depend on how easy it is to get that working. It may be very simple, but right now we really want to focus on getting this game complete on our side for what we're planning to do with Windows. So it's a maybe. It's a maybe.
Maybe. Zane. Oops. Nope. Okay. There. Zane, will crafters be able to determine what their crafted items look like? So early on, I thought it could be a cool idea, and we haven't fully explored this yet, but it could be a cool idea, similar to how you have a character creation suite. you could have an item creation suite where you have applicable opponents based on tier, based on type, those kind of things where they kind of mesh together, and the crafter has the ability to create a unique appearance based on the building blocks.
It would be very cool.
Yeah, it would be very cool. So that's something we were going to look into. Right? You're giving me that look. It would be cool. Listen, I'm all in favor of that. We'll see if we can get that to happen.
It would be a nice stretch goal.
It would be, ooh, hey, item creation suite stretch goal. Okay, David, up here. What will the average boss count me?
B.
Oh, count B. Will it be one boss, 13, or anything between? I don't know what that question means.
Like,
David.
how
I'm so
are they
sorry.
trying to say how many bosses will be in the world at one time?
Or how many
Is
bosses
that-
will be in a dungeon?
Or how
Right.
many how old are the bosses? 1 or 13?
Right.
I don't
Baby
think that's
bosses.
Right.
little baby boss. But that's going to be a range. So there's going to be far more than 13 bosses in the world.
Right.
In a dungeon, it could range from 1 to 13.
And the range is elastic depending on how the world is reacting to certain things. So.
Okay, wait, pause, David. Sorry, David. Michael. Where were you at before? Ponzini, I saw Ponzini. Will there be, oh, here we go. Will there be skill trees, stat points in this game? Excuse me. Yes, there are skill trees.
Yes.
And there is going to be some type of potentially point system used to allocate which skills you're choosing down that tree path. You know, not having access to every single skill, you're going to have to choose a path.
Yeah, it's either going to be points or it's going to be slots. They kind of come down to the same thing. It's just a matter of how we're going to express that to you guys. There is going to be basically a web and tree of skills.
Right.
And then stat points, yes, we do have stat points. We are...
We have a few different ideas on this.
We're working very hard on making all of the stats relevant. We want people to have different builds, right? We want to have a smart tank. We want to have a dexterous mage. We want to have all these things be viable. So yeah, there are stats. What we're going to name them is not set in stone right now. You might see them on our character sheet if you see some of our live play.
Don't take that as
that as gospel, but it's pretty close to where we're going to be.
As a canon.
Are we
What do
also
we
going
got?
to take any of the questions from the forums? Because
Yes,
some of these are
we're going to
repeats.
do after. We're going to do after we do the live questions. We're going to go to forum questions. How about any Twitch questions? Any other questions?
Yeah, will there be scythes in the game?
Scythes.
I saw that,
Ooh,
yeah.
Scythes, that's not on our list. Not on our list. Again, lots of weapons.
Lots of weapons.
Lots of weapons.
Scythes are very cool, and I love them.
Isn't that like a gardening tool too?
It is.
like,
That's how it started.
Kind of synonymous with like dark knighty type classes.
I was
at
thinking
this
like
point.
if you're culling wheat, or I mean, you know.
Well, that's I'm harvesting lies, right? That's
Yeah.
that's
It's
what
like the
Oh,
soul
I get it.
type
I'm the
thing.
harvester
Yeah.
of souls.
Right.
This is true. Maybe that's like a ultimate unlockable like evil weapon or something in like a church. Who knows? I'm just saying.
Right.
Just saying. Okay. Well, any other Twitch
Oh,
questions?
I saw one up there.
Oh,
Will there
go.
be elements with something that I saw from Twitch?
Elements.
Like fire,
Yeah.
water. Well, are these things going to have different resistances?
Oh,
and
right.
will you be able to like make builds around them? And the answer is yes.
There are elements, absolutely. And another thing that's cool, some elements may have more strength in certain climates that may exist in the game.
Right.
Another gameplay aspect of our season changes.
When it comes to season changes and environments,
Right.
you're going to see that reflected in that.
If you use a frost ability in winter, it may have a little bit more potency.
A little bit more kick,
Yeah,
because it's got the weather to help it
I
out.
like it. Okay, will we be able to save character customizations on our hard drive from Ruby437 Unicorn?
Yeah, that's...
I
So...
think in our character creation suite, we have a save file that we
Yeah, that's going to be something that you can save your appearances out
Right.
to your local and share them with people if you want to.
Right.
Just so you can load them faster, don't have to twiddle with all the buttons.
There was a recent game that came out that I won't name, but it had a really cool character creation suite, and you could, prior to launch, create awesome characters in there, and they had like contests and stuff.
Yes.
And I thought that was a great idea.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that.
Because I mean,
I wanna meet
hours,
my character before I
hours
meet
go
my
into
character.
doing that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's what I'm talking about. And who, you know, a lot of people like to do that. Let's see. Boba fried. Oh wait, Boba. Oh, I'm sorry, Boba. I love Boba though. Oh, we lost you. Strawberry slushy boba is really good.
What?
Strawberry slushy bobas.
I've never had one.
Support class. How will the solo experience be from testing 2521995?
It's going to be awful. You're going to hate
No.
it. Every second of it's going to be just misery.
That is not true.
No, it's going to be awesome.
Yes, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the intention is not to make these classes like not fun, right?
Or solely dependent on having a group necessarily.
Right. Just because I picked a support doesn't mean that I'm not awesome
Right.
myself. So yeah.
Yeah. Berry Tack. Will I be able to place furniture freely in my home or freehold? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
Furniture,
a big part.
art, you know.
Right. Any type of cosmetic
trophies you get, a
Right.
whole bunch of realm of cosmetics or just
Absolutely.
like stuff you can put in there. Okay. Will there be fishing boats
Saw that.
from Moran? Dude, I would love to have fishing boats. Can we
Yeah.
talk about fishing boats?
We can talk about fishing boats.
Because you can do fishing from the shore. That's one thing,
Yep.
right? And I'm all about shore fishing too. But if you get like a boat that has like fish finder or something on it, and like
Fish Finder 2000.
no, I think we're gonna probably do some type of fishing vessel. Yenrut. Since we are nearly triple of your Kickstarter goal, can we hope for a slightly earlier release date? Think face. So
No.
So, just so you're aware, you know, we're not putting a release date out because we want to like torture people in anticipation.
We want to make sure that we have enough room to get it done.
Right, and not only that, but get it done right and good and working
And the correct way,
exactly.
right? You know, measure twice, cut once.
Exactly.
And that's kind of our philosophy.
Because
here.
if we release a product that's going to be glitchy and buggy and nobody's going to enjoy
Nobody's
it,
gonna play it.
then there's no point for it,
yeah,
right? Like,
and also like, you know, it's we don't want to disappoint you guys by saying like, yeah, it's going to be done now, and then us having to push things back. We've seen how that's worked in the past, and it's unfair to you guys, and it's not fair to us.
For
'cause
sure.
We want to make a good game, and that's our most important thing.
yes, okay. Garandale, will there be Metropoli in the Underrealm? Well, we have nodes now in the Underrealm
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we've unlocked
right.
that, and that means that there can potentially be Underrealm Metropolises.
It's true.
This, my friend, is a mine.
Oh man.
What?
Yeah.
They delved too deep. Okay. Let's see. Jake Dezu, Mr. Jake, will with the profession system Trinity, will I be able to have one character for each role, and through that way do everything myself, or will the profession experience be account wide? Well, technically, if you had a character each with a role, you wouldn't be doing it your quote-unquote self. You'd be doing it in concert with other people.
Yeah.
But they just happen to be played by you as well, right?
Sure. But yeah, this I mean.
But the experience is not going to be account wide.
Right.
It's going to be
It's
on your
not.
character.
It's on a character. Okay. When can we expect from Porin to see some Summoner and Bard gameplay? So we're pretty real about like releasing gameplay like as soon as we get it, or in this case today, releasing it before I actually get it.
Yeah.
And you can expect us to be releasing regularly through our twice a month broadcasts content, and that's going to include like Bard play and. Well, we have a Bard here.
It's
so-
true. You see me every day. I don't know.
Do we have a flute for him? Can
What
we
you're
get a flute?
asking. I've got a recorder.
Can you tell a story?
Right.
Tell me a story, Bard.
One day, long ago, there was a castle called Intrepid.
Nice, I like it.
It's a silly place.
Okay, just Marcus. Explain the die system. Permanent, unlimited, partly dyed armor, or one-time use?
So there are two different types of dies. One is for Kickstarter, and one is for regular consumption.
Right. The Kickstarter is going to be unique colors that are not going to be accessible from in-game. And then the die system in general is going to incorporate your ability as a character to customize certain armor pieces to reflect different colors. So I think it's a pretty traditional system.
Yeah.
You know, we're planning to have 8 unique armor pieces displayed on a character.
Once you use the die, it's gone.
Right. Once you use the die, it's gone, and you're going to change the appearance of one of those pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Jennifer might.
Oh, Jennifer.
Were you trying to get us?
Got a Twitch
or-
one?
Yeah, they want you to start answering some of the Twitch questions.
Okay, Twitch
Oh.
questions. Go.
Okay.
It's been a while.
What do we
One-
got?
one of them
Democracy
was
now.
From Sarumonin. He wanted to know. Sarumonin is one of our
Sarumonin, a community moderator.
moderators, is can we explain the friend system more? Will there be private messages, special groups that they can go
Okay.
into so they can message their friends?
Oh.
So Sarumonin asks, can we explain the friend system a bit more in regards to how that
How
interaction
chat works
is,
and
right?
how that's all organized.
So we got private messages, we've got friend lists that are going to be in the
Right.
game, we've got
You know,
Yeah, if you want to set up a
guilds,
channel for
I mean,
yourself, you're
whole bunch of
welcome
channels,
to it.
right?
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, that's all stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
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 Do we have a plan to prevent certain class combos from being sort of min-max, where those will be only ones that will be played by people because they're so much more powerful?
Who asked that question?
Huh?
Who asked? Did we know who asked that question?
Feel you burn?
Feel you burn.
Feel
So
you burn.
balancing question in regards to classes and whether or not we are going to be able to stay away from there being
Cookie
a
cutter
meta
builds,
cookie cutter,
basically.
right? Exactly. 100%. Balancing is such an important aspect of this class system that we want to make sure that there is a role to be had for every possible combination.
Sure.
Right.
you don't make 64 classes for 4 to be played.
To have four.
Yeah.
Right, so
exactly.
it's, you know,
that would be
trying our
huge.
best to
Yeah.
balance it.
Yeah, and then there's some stuff that we're kind of talking about in the back end to kind of maybe sort of address it. They're all experimental, so that's stuff that we'll kind of roll out as we kind of nail that kind of stuff down.
Do we have the video? Almost? Okay, so something interesting for you guys out there. You're actually going to see this video before we do because we're watching the
Yeah,
questions.
we're like 4 seconds
So,
behind.
well,
too.
not only that, but we're not going to be able to see the video because
Oh,
we're going to be
that's true.
asking questions.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, all right, that's cool.
Better be good, Tristan.
Yeah, Tristan. Tristan does a great job. Tristan Snodgrass is one of our is our level designer, and not only that, but he's an amazing editor, and he takes in-game footage, and he. Oh, hello! I can actually see it now. So you know what? Why don't we?
He's a wizard,
I really
Harry.
want to watch. He's a wizard, Harry. He's a wizard. I want to watch.
We can keep answering questions.
It's going fast.
It's okay.
They're not seeing that.
Yeah, he's just
Oh.
playing it in field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just loading it.
Okay, cool. No. So, more Twitch questions.
Yeah.
What do we got?
It's ready to go.
Will there be a deserter buff or debuff if somebody leaves a siege in the middle of a siege?
No. So will there be a deserter buff for leaving a siege during the siege? No.
Probably not, no.
There would not be a deserter buff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the purpose of that. But if people if morale breaks, we want that to be a thing that happens.
That's
Right.
another decision by the player.
So yeah,
Right. It's swinging the battle anyway by having deserters, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And morale is an important aspect of any leader. And if there are leaders involved in certain circumstances like castle sieges or node sieges or whatever, it's incumbent upon them, their responsibility to make sure the troops are properly motivated, yeah. Other Twitch questions?
Footage ready to go.
Will there
Oh,
be
footages?
gnomes or halflings?
Okay, we're gonna play the footage now. Oh, and is the volume off?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, there we go. So you're seeing a nighttime village. Excuse me. And our mage is running through that nighttime village. This is cool. I like this. We're running through the village. There's a lot of NPCs. This is a happening place. A little dog ran by. It feels like it's a little sped up though. Will there be? I'm sorry. What was the question? Will there be halflings
or
or
gnomes.
gnomes?
We have
That's-
a few little races. None of them are explicitly gnome or halfling.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another Twitch question. You can pick from Discord too if you want to, since we don't have the visual here.
Yeah, because we're seeing the video.
You're going by some text.
That's okay. You can always grab the cursor on the side to stop it. What do we got? That's okay.
Will blood be one of the elements such as fire or wind?
Will blood be
Like
Fire
blood-
or
like
wind?
blood
Will there be
mag-
blood mages?
Like blood mages.
Who focus on blood.
I wouldn't say
Not
specific.
not
Right,
like
that's-
not as an element,
Right.
Right.
but there will be blood.
Yeah, there's. Well.
Wow.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
you're
That's a
welcome.
good movie.
It was great.
That was a good movie. Okay, what can we expect from the summit? Oh wait, no, I already saw that one. Diabolic Nick. Will there be a /roll feature that players or people can use in chat when rolling for loot and other things in game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
There will be a /roll feature. Explosive Man. Question: can people who paid over $2,500 have their username shine in the text chat in game?
Oh, like have like a little glow on it?
Like a
Right.
like a Las Vegas, you know.
Yeah. First letter,
things
second
like-
level, third level.
Look at me.
Right.
No.
No.
Sorry.
There's a
That
lot of
would
things.
probably be harder to do than you think it would
Right,
be.
but not only that, but like there's a lot of things in the upper tier packages that really set players apart as being a community member that helped found,
Yeah.
you know, Ashes of Creation, and we're pretty, I think, content with those. Let's see what we got here. Bring us down a little bit further there. Okay. Let's see. Do you know where the game's servers will be located? So I think we're intending on launching with EU, NA, and Oceanic. Those are pretty much confirmed. Other locations are going to be, dependent on the interest and community that we see
Right.
from those.
Yeah, if there's a critical mass of players for those regions, we'll definitely consider that.
Absolutely. But it's very, very early right now to discuss server locations.
Right.
You know, in the coming months, it's very likely that we can announce, hey, we have new servers and locations we plan on launching in and stuff like
Right.
that.
There's a cool question from Fervent Fiend.
Okay.
Is civil war within a city a possibility without an external siege? I think it's not like a civil war that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
It's more of a political war.
Right.
It's about undermining,
Yeah.
who's in charge, trying to disrupt,
Right.
trade and stuff, and hurt your enemies. So it's going to be much more on the political side than it will be like straight out and out war side.
Not only
And
that,
that's within a node.
Not only that, but players can only declare citizenship to one node. So, when you start seeing populations fluctuate of citizens within a node as a result of that kind of a civil war, or the decisions of the government.
Right. Then somebody can come in and take advantage of that.
Exactly. Let's see. Okay.
There was a good question
Okay.
on the Twitch.
Twitch question.
I don't remember who said it,
Somebody.
but they said if their subscription runs out and they have a freehold, does their freehold get dismantled or someone else able to get it?
If the subscription runs out, will the freehold or the property be
Disappear.
lost?
Right.
So I think we're going to have a grace period, obviously, when it comes to like subscription times.
Right.
Like, if the subscription's going out, I think it's pretty common for
Yeah.
subscription games. In regards to assets in game, I think there's going to be a mechanic for taxes that get paid and stuff. Right. And if it's on default, then it's just going to naturally run its course and
Right.
and become available. Okay. Let us move to perhaps some of the forum questions. Do we have that list of forum questions? All right, that's fine. You can just drag it over to that second screen. Yeah, cool. All right. Mr. First question giver is Vic Tay. Will players be able to give their Kickstarter packages to other users or sell them? That's an interesting question.
No.
For
For the most part, they're going to be account locked.
Well, they are account locked, absolutely.
Right.
Some of the other more like open-ended ones, like design a quest or events, those things are not really account locked.
Right, because those influence other players.
Right. If you wanted to maybe talk with us and be like, hey, I've got this friend of mine, I kind of wanted to give this to him on my part, you could totally do that.
Well,
We
not
could
only
work
that, but
something
like
out.
if you're currently, wanting to buy a package for a friend, you can create a separate Kickstarter account, buy that package, and then be like, hey, I got you the package.
Right,
And
yeah,
make
yeah.
your account, and you can use the code. You know, that thing. Dingo 8. My baby, no. Dingo 8. Will monsters drop gold or items or mob-specific crafting materials?
Yes to all the above.
It depends on the monster in regards to gold, right?
There's a range of what they'll drop.
There's a range of what they'll drop, obviously. But like a wolf is not going to be carrying with him a sack of gold.
Right.
Correct.
But depending on the monster, all these things are possible.
That's true, yes. But more specifically, I think a good question and what you're trying to get at is how will you earn wealth by going and killing wolves and stuff? Well, that's going to be more of like a pelt system that you take to a hunter's lodge, and depending on like maybe how many pelts they're receiving within that zone or something, could fluctuate the price that the pelt's worth, and then you'll get gold in exchange, something along those lines. Especially if we get to our economic goal, that could be another aspect of it potentially.
It's going to tend toward the crafting side, then it's going to be towards the trash side. But yeah.
Yeah. Malit, will there be diminishing returns in PvP? So diminishing returns in regards to like crowd control and conditions like stun and sleep and slows and all that kind of things. Yes, we will have absolutely diminishing returns. I think it's a necessary component to balance out classes that have high controllability, obviously, or else they'll just become like the penultimate meta. You must have controllers.
We're trying to stay away from
Like a
hard locks as much as
mage
we possibly
ball.
can. We want to have the system be a very play, counterplay, counterplay kind of feel. So that if somebody does something to you, you have some way of countering that. So yeah.
Japemo. Will an upcoming Kickstarter goal be translations into other languages, including Spanish? Hola, mi amigo. Right? What? I said hello. I know Japemo. He's cool. He's a cool dude. So. Will we? Well, I don't think it'll be a Kickstarter goal. I think it's going to be naturally, again, getting back to the interest from those regions.
Right.
And then our localization efforts will include translation.
Yeah, to those places that have the most demand are the places that we will probably be localizing at.
Absolutely. Death Con. Will a player be able to level their overall levels through only crafting, or is PvP/E separate? Overall levels. So adventuring class levels, right? That's going to involve a lot of different ways to level, right? PvP, PvE, some crafting may get it, exploration may get it, collecting materials and stuff may get it, building things may get it, participating in node events may get experience towards those things. There's a lot of different ways that players can receive experience. Shimmer. Will players be able to build a shrine to, okay, got that one. Goat. Will there be benefits to doubling up on the same class, such as mage? I think the term benefit may be misplaced because technically it's beneficial for you to have a subclass in anything,
right?
Because it's more customization for you to flavor the class and everything like that. In regards to doubling down on your archetype, that's going to be more towards what role do you want to play, right? And if you want to further identify as that mage class, right?
A mage is basically a pure mage. They're an archmage. They are the guys who are going to blow stuff up. So yeah, there is a benefit. Of course, you're giving up something by choosing that, and that's that kind of flexibility in what other role that another subclass can provide.
Right. Okay. Snipe TDF. When your location is revealed to bounty hunters due to corruption, is your exact location revealed, or only your general area? This is going to depend on the advancement within the bounty, bounty hunter class, so to speak. Not class, but like progression path. Your progression within that is going to determine how localized, how specific the location counter is. So like if you're a noob at the bounty hunter thing, you just came in, and, you may get a bigger blob area of where this person is. If you are like an expert bounty hunter, you may get really specific locations.
Pinpoint,
yeah, exactly.
And that's something also we're going to have to balance, throughout the process, obviously. So.
Absolutely, a lot of testing. Elven noob, will there? Okay.
Nice. I was waiting. I was
how did this get on the question
list?
list?
It's a legitimate question.
What?
It's not a question. It's actually from a girl who wants to know to make sure that
All right.
aren't.
Okay.
Endowment slider?
Who are going to be what?
She doesn't want giant ones.
Okay, my goodness. Okay. Will there be
Booby
bosom.
sliders.
Oh, what?
Okay, you just did it. All right.
Wow, you just went for
That's
it.
the question.
Oh my
fair.
goodness.
We gotta
Verbatim.
commit, man.
All right.
Booby sliders in character creation. There is a quote-unquote booby slider. And,
Right.
you know, how far we can take that is...
It's going to be relative to what the actual race is.
Exactly.
It's not going to be ridiculous. It's not going to
Similar
be
to the height
obscene.
slider,
Right.
right? You
There's
can't be a
range.
1-inch tall character.
Right.
Right.
And in that same
We're
regard...
not dead and alive. Dead and-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for that question, Elvin Noob. Thank you. Lethality. How long and how much effort will it take for a node to reach a Metropolis stage? 6 months? 2 years? He asks. So the answer to that, we put out a little while ago, is obviously it's going to depend on the effort of the community, right? That's an important aspect of it.
It's going to depend on how much counter effort there is.
Exactly.
Right.
That's a good point. And it's going to depend on whether or not there are, as you said, counter efforts, whether or not there are other nodes that are stifling growth and stopping and that kind of stuff. But I would say if you just had a node without any counter effort and you had a nominal amount of players participating in that development, I would say a rough estimate would be a couple of months.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long-term goal.
All things
Right.
being average,
Right.
right?
That's the difficult part. It's hard to give an estimate like that
Exactly.
because there's so many variables
Yes.
in a world that's truly live where, you know, giving that kind of fuzzy average is the best we can do.
Yes. Or Zazro, if you were in front of a potential Kickstarter backer who was skeptical about backing due to previous quote-unquote unnamed MMORPGs that didn't deliver, what would be your elevator pitch to them?
That's a really good question. I love that
I like
question.
Yeah,
that
that's a
question.
well put together question.
Well, I would first say that, you know, take a look at the project, look at our design philosophies, look at our pillars of design, and see first if that's something that interests you, right? Now, if it does interest you, take a look at who we have on the team, their pedigrees, where they've come from, being specifically MMORPG developers themselves. And actually, we have a few new hires that are going to be announced next week,
Yeah.
which probably are going to excite some people out there.
I know. I'm excited.
And then if that is comfortable for you, realize that those other projects, we're not those people. Like, you know, we're doing this out of a passion. We're doing this out of being upset, similarly to other projects coming along and promising things and not delivering. And that's our whole goal and why we came to Kickstarter. In addition to that, community is so important to us, and being in communication with the community is something that we strive to do, as seen here on these live streams, and our interaction with people on Discord and on the forums. I would say that that kind of has set us apart from other developers as well.
sure.
And I mean, take a look at what we've built so far, too.
Right.
The chord we've struck, and I mean, I think we're really clear with our vision and presenting our vision, you know, and like having that feedback from the community is just, I mean, I think that's a really big part of it.
Absolutely. I would say that's our elevator pitch, so to speak. But at the same time, we are going to get this game done. And if you're more comfortable sitting back and watching, by all means. We don't want people to do something they're not comfortable with. Veton D63. If a node is built up and destroyed multiple times, will the content that it unlocked be different each time? No. So
It's an
There's
interesting question.
I assume he's
a
referring
caveat
to
to that.
like quest lines and
Yeah.
stuff, because the quest lines of that particular node will be the same unless like things change with other nodes getting developed and reacting with that node, right?
There's that, and then there's also what racial or aspect it ends up taking can change.
Oh,
what's
that's
available.
true. That's true. That's
Right.
true. That's true.
And also the buildings like that were there, you know, they're getting rebuilt possibly differently, things
Right.
like that are going on. You know, it's a whole new path when you have a new control structure.
I'll apologize then. It shouldn't have been a no answer. Actually, I didn't think about the cross applications. That's a very good point. Different races becoming primary contributors obviously affect things. Different design elements of the city determined by different governments are going to affect things differently. What other nodes are available within the world and what those reactions and interactions unlock are going to be different. So there's a lot of potential difference between what that node can present previously and later in its development.
Yeah, we're not saying it's going to be completely different,
Right.
But yeah, there's definitely you'll probably have a different experience.
Yes. Chanel, how will marriage system work? It's a great question. So there's a lot to, I guess, going to be the marriage system. And I think that's probably something we'll probably delve into a little bit deeper in a future blog.
Yeah, I think so.
But like generically, the way it's going to work is combining those characters in a sense, and like what they can do together in the world, right? So like that could pertain to the freehold system and interaction there potentially. Different things within the node from like certain quests may be unlocked for people who are married that may not be available in other things. It may have societal organization impacts as well. There's a lot of different things that we can do with the marriage system that we haven't fully fleshed out yet, but we will be discussing in the future. Okay, Galadion. How does Intrepid intend to overcome the replication problem and net roll issues with Unreal Engine?
I mean, it's basically, the answer to that is kind of the same question that we've had that before, where we're ripping out most of the network code that Unreal has and putting in our own, just so that it works with our game, and so everything is as efficient as possible. We're not going to have any replication problems because we're building it ourselves. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the most important things about Epic Games as the creators of Unreal Engine is that the way they've allowed developers to have access to that source code to be able to do that, it makes the engine very versatile.
It does,
right? And you know, the engine may come out of the box not necessarily having the ability to take on an MMORPG necessarily, but because it's so open source to developers to come in and put in their own stuff, that's what makes it a great engine. In addition, Unreal Engine has tremendous support for developers and studios that are working with their engine. And they have a lot of very talented engineers who have been working on this engine for a long time.
Inside and out.
And Unreal has been used for several AAA, large MMOs in the past, like Lineage 2 and Terra. Exactly. So,
it's not an unsolvable problem at all.
And it's not even really a problem. I mean, it's not a problem.
We went into it knowing that that was probably going to happen anyways.
Absolutely. And if you think about it, the alternative is like, are you going to build an engine from scratch? Well, why necessarily? Because essentially that's what you're doing with the back end of it anyways. Is you're building your own engine from scratch on the back end while also utilizing the graphic fidelity that the engine has to offer. And
a lot of the hooks that they have for blueprints and everything. I mean, it's amazing how quickly we can build stuff with Unreal.
Absolutely.
And it's,
actually, we had a great article come out on UnrealEngines.com's Spotlight. If people want to check it out.
It was actually really rad. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. Okay, let's see here. Monk Long. Will there be character limits in alpha, alpha and beta?
There will have to be character limits, just from a database standpoint. We're probably going to relax it from live, just so that you have different builds that you can go on server with and help us test things when we need it. We'll also probably have buffers on server and stuff to kind of configure tests out and kind of help you guys get to where you need to be with what equipment you need in order to test whatever scenario we're doing that day.
All right, I think we have time for one more question, and we will answer from Care Nunos. In the Predator video we saw the stealth to have a slightly visible shimmering effect. Is this visible only to the player so that they can track their own position? Or will stealth look this way to other players as well, allowing an observant player to notice an incoming rogue? So something interesting about stealth in our game is that we don't just have the approach of your class be reflected in your combat abilities, but also there are utility abilities that certain classes have that other classes don't have. And some of those utility abilities pertain to the detection of stealth characters, right? So stealth characters are going to be detectable, so to speak, by classes that hold those certain types of utilities, right? To other classes that may not.
To a greater and lesser degree.
Exactly. And other classes that do not have that accessible utility detection method probably will have a very difficult time locating a stealth character.
Which again is another reason to have friends.
Exactly, very much so.
Everybody has a role.
Yes. All right, so I hope you guys got some of your questions that you wanted to have answered. I'm sorry that we can't get to every question.
There were so many questions.
There's a lot of questions.
A lot.
But we'll continue to be answering questions on our Discord and on the forums. And guys, we love actually interacting with the community and getting these questions and,
Yeah,
and,
no,
and
it's
seeing the
absolutely great.
interest and passion that's there for Ashes of Creation, because it's shared by everybody here at the studios.
And it's great to hear those questions too, because we don't always know what people are interested in.
Absolutely.
It gives us a sense of like,
And some of
okay,
these-
this is an interesting idea.
Yeah,
I've never thought about
I was
this
about to say,
before.
some of these
so-
questions are thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they actually bring, the community's perspective
Yeah.
exactly into play, and that's really cool. It's a great part of this process. But guys, we cannot thank you again enough for the unbelievable support. We have 8 days remaining in the Kickstarter.
I know, we're getting close.
We're getting
It's getting close, so keep spreading that word. Keep telling your friends and your guilds out there, hey, we're going to have a fun time with this project, and it's going to be a pretty awesome story and environment and just play for you guys. So we will see you on Friday, and next week we're actually going to have a pretty cool video to show.
Yeah, we're changing up our schedule next week too.
Oh,
we should
right,
probably tell
right.
everybody.
Good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Tuesday and Thursday.
Yep.
We're doing live streams on Tuesday and Thursday of next week instead of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And this is kind of to give people who may not have been able to tune into the live stream an opportunity to come in if they could only make it on a Tuesday or Thursday.
Yep. And Thursday is our last day of Kickstarter,
That is
so we
true.
wanted to make sure we go out big.
It'll
is
still
very
be at 3, right?
It'll still be what? 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate your support, and we love you all. Thank you.
Thank you so
See
much.
Bye,
soon.
everybody.